If God has not spoken, no matter what the imaginations or concoctions of the dream seems to be, it will not manifest as long as God has not permitted it to. God can easily destroy that dream. By the moment God just says the dream is non-existent, that's all. So you trust the Lord God Almighty to do that, and you go back to sleep. So I don't know why I'm saying this particular part, but I know some of us will learn from this. So he ordered all the wise men and magicians to come before him. When the king related his dream to them, and a wise servant of the king, whose name was Anuki, answered the king, saying, "This is nothing else but the evil of Abram and his seed, which will spring up against my lord and the king in the latter days. And behold, the day will come when Abram and his seed and the children of his household will war with my king, and they will smite all the king's hosts and his troops. And as to what thou hast said concerning 3 men which you saw, like unto thyself, and which did escape." Now, concerning the 3 men which you saw like unto yourself, and which did escape, this means that only you will escape with 3 kings from the kings of the earth, who will be with thee in battle. And thou which thou sawest of the river, which turned to an egg at first, and the young bird plucking out thine eye, this means nothing else but the seed of Abram, which will slay the king in latter days. This is my king's dream, and this is its interpretation, and the dream is true, and the interpretation which thy servant has given thee is right. Now therefore, my king, surely thou knowest that it is now 52 years since thy sages saw this and the birth of Abram. And if my king will suffer Abram to live in the earth, it will be to the injury of my lord and king. For all the days that Abram liveth, neither thou nor thy kingdom will be established. For this was known formerly at his birth. And why will not my king slay him, that his evil may be kept from thee in the latter days? Now, one more thing God said I should say is that do not forget that when you have dreams or have a bad dream or a so-called bad dream, what you are supposed to do as Christians is that you go and pray. And do not forget what prayer is. Prayer basically is telling God about something, petitioning heaven about something. And when you say God answers your prayers, it basically just means God has spoken. So if you have a bad dream that someone is about to die, you now pray, Father Lord, protect and stuff like that. In heaven, what we see or what we don't see is God just saying the opposite of what that dream is. So if God has said that he has answered your prayers, your father or your child or your son will not die. That is the answer to the prayer. So everything begins to work in accordance to that word which was spoken alone. So now, if you are so close to God to the point where you have stuff like this and God is already talking with you and saying that go back to bed, the dream is already averted. Understand the whole point of prayer. Praying is not see what you are doing. Understand the essence of prayer. You are praying to hear God's words spoken. That is the whole point.